Where are you two from? I'm from LA.
I am from Arizona.
Okay, and how about you, Rick?
Well, I'm actually in Nevada, but I'm the district chair for 5160, which is like from, as we say, from Berkeley to Weed. It's it's a sliver up the middle of Northern California. So
Nice.
from the Bay Area, like along Highway 5, up the
I know
middle.
exactly.
Yeah.
So have you both been involved in youth exchange for a long time? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I have as well. So I've been well, I've been involved with all youth programs. I mean, that's what I always say about youth exchange. If you're involved in youth exchange, you're involved in Interact, you're involved in, you know, RYE, because at least in our district, they go tell those things as well. I was the youth exchange chair for our district I was involved in the committee for about 10 years. The chair for the last 3 years prior. I was done with that about a year ago. And I've hosted 9 exchange students over the years, and my two of my 3 kids went on exchange. So that is my youth exchange experience. How about you, Rick?
I got a funny start, but I'm the chair of our district. And where in Arizona are you? I was going to ask.
I'm in Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Because I was from Tucson, and that's where we made our 2 outbounds.
Oh.
But they're 25 and 24
That's
now.
funny.
So
Yeah.
they've long been back. I've hosted 3. And I was really hornswoggled into youth exchange, but once I met one, I ended up being the chair. So that's how it worked for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How about you, Vicki?
I have been involved. I was the team leader for the short term and in charge of the short term program for about a decade. Now I'm pretty much steeped in all the peace programs, more so than that, but I had a pleasure in taking 8 different short-term groups to Japan and traveling around as their chaperone for a week to show them the country before going to home hosting in outside of Tokyo. And I made it a point every year to have the itinerary include a stay and a visit to the Peace Park in Hiroshima.
Oh,
and I learned how to speak Japanese after going twice and seeing the devastation of, the A-bomb. So,
wow, nice. Yeah, we have another one coming in. I also, last year I had the opportunity, so we do a Crutches for Africa program where we actually take some Interact students to, they collect mobility devices all through the year, and then 6 or 8 of them are chosen to travel to Kenya to deliver the equipment. So my husband and I last year actually also went with the delegation to Africa, the Interact students, the Interact ambassadors that we call them. So it's a short-term program that we do as well. So I see, the name just says Nancy. Can you unmute, Nancy, and tell us who you are and where you're from and your experience with youth exchange?
Well, my name's Nancy Galbraith. I'm with District 5470, and I'm the outbound coordinator, and I've been it for just 2 years, so I'm kind of a newbie.
Nice. Well, 2 years is 2 years of a lot of experience, I'm sure. All right.
Hey, Martin, why don't you rename yourself?
Oh yeah, thank you. That was when we had trouble. I had to fix things here. Let's see. I will do that right now. So, I mean, our question is, how to how do you prevent a helicopter parent from sabotaging an exchange? So I thought just to start, I would you know, just be sure. I mean, I think we all understand what a helicopter parent is, but I thought I would at least look up the definition. So a parent, it is a parent who takes an overprotective interest or is overly involved in the life of their child. So I thought where we would start is just to, you know, we can talk just generally about, you know, do you know one? Have you experienced one in your time with Youth Exchange? And frankly, are you one? If you're a parent, have you experienced it personally? Because I would have to be honest that to some extent, I have done some of those things. So anyways, go ahead. Who would like to go first?
Well, I'll start. That's why I wanted to join this group, and I'll try to be brief. But yes, we experience it, and we, as a district in our orientations, try to do the most we can to simmer that down and avoid it. And not to brag, but to share, we came up with B's and D's for parents. Mm-hmm. And we kind of put that out on YEO Talk, and I've shared it with over 400 different districts who've requested it. So I wanted to kind of put that out there. I don't know if there's some kind of a consolidation of this meeting, but I would be glad to share that.
Yeah, that would be
give
great.
You our email addresses in the chat box.
Yeah. The other thing you can do, I don't know if you have the document there on your computer, but you can also, you know, attach it there if there's, or to Vicky's point, these meetings are being recorded, and so they are, the information will be available after the fact. I think that is part of the whole purpose of having this event, is really to connect people together and resources that are available. So what do your B's and D's include? I'm curious.
I can't even speak the regular ones, let alone our others. Let me go.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that, but
I'll bring it up and I'll get it. I'm typing my.
Does this session end at 11 the way it was indicated it would?
I think it's 11:15.
Well, the next one starts at 11:15, the third session. Okay. Yeah, but we don't want to end the session. We just want to excuse participants.
Yes, that's good to make it clear right now, because that's why we've lost him. Okay.
So Nancy, how about you?
Well, let's see. Right now we have a parent, so, you know, we didn't send our kids out last year, so we're having them reapply, and one parent is already filling out all the updated information, and I've told her that her daughter needs to do it, and she continues to fill it out. So I was trying to get some hints on how to directly tell parents to, you know, quit being a helicopter parent.
That's, I mean, that's kind of what the B's and D's are, but I think direct, if that doesn't work, that's tough. You know, we say, this is their exchange, not yours. Right. You need to, you know, lift them up, not do it for them, and remind them that they're going to be in situations. We just heard in the last session from a rebound named Paige, and she was saying that the lack of training in how to be independent was what she would add to her training. Mm-hmm. And that really hit home with me. I thought we did a really good job, but as a teenager saying to the world, I need to be taught how to be more independent, that was an eye-opener. Yeah. And I have my B's and D's up if you want to allow me to share the screen.
Sure, go ahead.
Conversation's over.
Yeah.
All right. You might have to let me, but let me see.
Yeah.
She has to make you co-host so you can share.
Let me see.
Yeah, it says it's disabled. Make me a co-host.
Okay. Let's see.
The 3 dots next to my name.
Oh, okay. Make co-host. Okay. Okay.
Well,
That's
I've seen
good,
these before.
Rick. I like that.
Nice. Yeah.
And this is a Word document that, you know, I'm not going to redo it for everybody, but you can, you know,
No,
Sure.
no, just send
As
it
completely-
long as
as
it's,
is.
yeah, it
We
can be
can
edited.
share.
Yeah. That's cute. I love that. Yeah.
Very well done.
right?
So I'm curious, one of the
And then,
things.
so here's the
Oh.
Bs, right? In the
Mhm.
same format.
Yep. The don'ts and the do's, and the do's are the B's.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. Another thing we did is we have the parents sign an agreement form. And part of it is that they understand that we are requesting that they have one call a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do a 30-day disconnect pledge.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh, well,
pretty
I'm
funny.
talking about short term. Short
Oh,
term,
yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, if you only have like a 4-week program, we request that they only communicate once a week maximum.
Yeah, we do about a 30-day as well. I mean, we don't
Mhm.
necessarily monitor it, but it's more about, you know, if you identify the kids early on, like we meet with them, as I'm sure other programs do, we meet with them several times prior to them leaving on exchange.
Yes.
And so with that in mind, you know, you kind of know ahead of time who you may have issues with. And
Yes.
so I think stressing that. I have denied students going on exchange that, you know, if it's clearly the parents who are really wanting the kid to go, and you can kind of tell that. And I've had kids be relieved that, you know, that they were actually, you know, it kind of took it off of them when it was more the parent who was the one who wanted them to go on exchange than themselves. Yeah, it's interesting because I think, you know, if you can get in front of it, meaning before the student goes on exchange, and really be watching for those signs early on, I think it can help, maybe, you know, eliminate some of those things once they're there.
We do the disconnect pledge, we call it. We haven't signed it. We actually do with our inbounds. And the really funny part about it is I almost want to say it's 100% that the students say, oh, we try to convince them about why this is good and necessary. And they're like, well, I have no problem with that, but my mom's going to go nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a variety of accents and languages. So that's telling right there.
Right. And it does seem there are a lot of kids who go on exchange just to get away from their parents, you know, to be able to establish some of that independence that they're struggling with at home. So I think, you know, it really does help. And I think I've seen a lot of situations which by the end of the exchange, it really did help that.
I was also going to bring, if you want, it's not that important, but I have the nightmare story also.
Go ahead. Sure.
You seriously? Okay. Well,
Absolutely. I
this
think
was
we all have
our-
them, but yes, let's
Yes,
hear it.
we do. Yes, we do.
the year just prior to COVID, whatever the heck that was, I guess 1920. No, 1819, whatever. And
1890.
she was that odd kid, you know, a little goth and all of that. Single mom, you know, so what? But it was a real helicopter mom. And we had some concerns, but we wanted, you know, we always kind of do what's best for the kid, then what's best for the program, then what's best for the family is kind of our vetting process.
Mhm.
And to make a long story short, she wanted to get away from mom, but was probably too immature to do the exchange. She had undisclosed mental health issues, including meds. And when she got over there, she was a nightmare. She was lying. She broke most of the rules. And then when she thought, and her mom was causing all kinds of trouble, refusing to give up that level of the helicopter level of control.
Mhm.
And so they conspired together to put a sexual harassment charge against the district chair in Sweden, you know, who was the little old, you know, German Scandinavian man who, other than touched her elbow once to welcome her, did absolutely nothing. And she retracted that and all fessed up. And then they sued us because they wanted all their money back.
Wow.
And so as a result of that, you know, I don't know how much we learned, but we learned to go with our gut. And, you know, we were in that situation where she was like the ninth outbound in a really small year.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
oh, well, this will be good for her. And, you know, we thought about the prior year and all the ones that came back, you know, fixed
Mhm.
or much better off, which is what this program is about.
Yeah.
And we thought the best thing in the world would be for her to be away from her mom for a while.
Yeah.
And
So in hindsight, is there anything you would have done differently?
you know, that's what I wanted to explore and hear with this group.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, obviously, hindsight, she had all the signs that this was not going to be a good exchange. And this is not our first rodeo. Our district's
Right.
been doing it for a long time. And the only thing we really came up with was, quote, we should have gone with our guts.
Mm,
And
Yeah.
there is some, you know, there's some, you know, quality to that, but I don't know. That's what I wanted to explore.
It's hard to know. It's hard to
Yeah.
know for
Yeah,
sure.
they're not all going to be the perfect exchanges. You got to remember that too.
mhm.
Yeah.
Nobody was sexually abused. Nobody was lost, kidnapped, or anything else.
Yeah.
And we didn't give them their money back.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Christy Adams wants in. I will admit her. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
I have a feeling, yeah, she may be coming, so we're at 11, 9 after 11. The next session starts at 11:15. So Christy, I see you just joined. Are you here for the next session? Yeah, okay.
I
All
have
right.
my hand raised because I wanted to comment on what Rick had just shared. We had a very similar situation. A student from Japan that went to Cal State LA and made a claim against a professor who ended up losing his job over something that she said he had said in Japanese in the class. Her language skills were below what we normally allow, but because of that, she went to Cal State LA, not UCLA or USC. She was very upset that she was not allowed to go to either of the top universities, and that's what she wanted at the bottom line. Was she said that she would not say anything if we got her into one of those schools, which was obviously a little
So,
blackmail.
yeah,
And
was that, what was that her parents' involvement? I'm not clear. Was there?
no, well, he was referencing a mental health issue. As
Sure,
a result, what we learned for it, the bottom line, Rick, was what can we learn, right? And
Yeah.
what we learned was to read the application so carefully that we never should have accepted her on exchange, because it said that she did have some depression issues. I had to end up finding a psychiatrist that spoke Japanese. I mean, it really was a great
Understood.
ordeal. We ended up sending her back.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, our session is over. I apologize for that, not for the technical problems at the beginning and the delay. This next session is getting ready to start. So if you're scheduled to attend a different session, feel free to just leave this session and head over to your next session. Okay.